Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to Sunday session for January 22nd, 2023. What a week that we just come off of, man. It was definitely one of those weeks where you can make money up and down. I told you guys that Monday and Friday are usually the biggest moving days since it was a holiday on Monday. Tuesday and Friday was considered one of the biggest two moving days of this week. But let's ending the week on the weekly. We start off on the 1 week performance. You see, a lot of things are still red. You feel me? A lot of things are still red. What I always like to tell people, man, you always got to shop on. Sometimes it's a little bit simple for you to find stocks that's already red and make a trading plan from those. Because most of the things that's turning green, most people already been trading, 2 weeks ago. So keep that in mind going forward to this week. We know it's a big earnings week this week, guys. We got Boeing, we got Microsoft, we got Tesla. I mean, we got a lot going on this week. It's going to be fully packed. But if you got your three stocks that you want to watch, please stick to those and let us know when you're going to make that move. Let us know what contracts you're considering. You feel me? Let's have a conversation. The more eyes, the better. You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of easy for me to go through. And yes, I can point out 50 different stocks, but if we all find at least one, we got at least 10 to 15 stocks covered. So think about it. You know what I mean? If I do my part and give you guys updates on Boeing and SPY, look, man, do your part and keep that update on Apple. Keep that update on the video. You feel me? If we work together, this can be an easy transition for everybody. So that's the main point of having a group or a Discord is to work together, guys. So keep that in the back of your mind. But the earnings date, February 2nd is Apple. Microsoft is January 24th. We got Disney coming around on February 8th. We got Amazon, February 2nd. I mean, Tesla this week on the 25th. So we got a fun-packed week this week, man. And this is definitely that time of year where you can make a lot of money in the short term and in the nice long-term swings. We put out some great swings from 2-3 weeks ago, beginning of this month. We put out some amazing swings going towards February. Hopefully people have been paying attention to the watch list, but let's get straight into it, man. This is definitely going to be fun. We always like to start off with SPY. That's probably the go-to when you're talking about day trading and short-term swing trading. SPY is the ETF. It's definitely very simple to follow. And it's a lot of money in SPY regardless of what's going on. And I also use SPY as a teaching tool just to show you different charting techniques that you can find just by looking at SPY alone, right? But for right now, this is the one I'm gonna show you guys. I've been looking at it all weekend. I'm just like, man, it did what we wanted, right? I told you guys we need to close above this blue line, which is the 9-day moving average, to have that retest towards the green line, which is the 65-day moving average. Anybody that's new, we're trading this year are the moving averages. It's the 9-day, the 65, and the 200, right? Those are my main trading tools that I'm using this year, including with the RSI, right? So the RSI is relative strength index. That means if the stock gets oversold, it usually, have a nice little recovery. If it get overbought, it means it's going to be some downside coming, right? Until it balances out like SPY is on the weekly, it's kind of balancing right between that 50. That's where you kind of want the stock to be, especially if you want to, make a decision up or down. You kind of want it to linger in between there, but this is a couple things I've seen this weekend, and I've went over this 50 times in my mind, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. We're really, really, really into the make it or break it season for SPY. And I'm gonna show you why right here, guys. And if you got a question, please feel free to ask. Don't mind about interrupting. I'll answer your question. It don't matter. But we already know that this downtrend was here, right? We know it's been on a continuous downtrend. We know price action came and hit that downtrend line on Tuesday, and then we had a huge reversal back down, and things start dropping off. Especially when you go down to the 4-hour. This is the weekly. I always start off with my technical analysis on the weekly, and then I go down to my 4-hour. My main 3 time frames that I use, and this is why I say I keep it simple. I use the weekly, the 4-hour, and the 15. I keep it super simple, super basic, not nothing too extreme. But when you go down to the 4-hour chart, you can see right here, we got a full downtrend action going on, and it's still intact. Let me hold up, because Yahoo Finance be tripping. Let me go back to the weekly because It's acting like it's on a trip. Let's just continue to hold on the weekly. But yes, there's a downtrend. And the overall view of this downtrend is we have to break over this top downtrend line for us to see a continuation, possibly a retest back to 480. This is what everybody's been waiting on. Everybody's waiting on this downtrend to break. Now, I told you guys the SPY is an ETF that consists of mostly tech stocks. And I told you guys that tech stocks aren't as bullish in the beginning of the year as they are in the summer. So usually there's a huge recovery out of tech stocks going into June and July. So I'm still going to respect my trend line here, and I'm going to be patient, still take advantage of small trades. But my target from last week is still 402, and that's my weekly target today, which is the 65-day moving average. Now, if we're going to respect this downtrend, we have to pull all the way back on the monthly, and we're going to have to respect the overall uptrend that has been holding on for a couple years. But until let me reverse real quick. This downtrend also have mid downtrend. So when you're making your downtrend line, do not forget to add in all your downtrends. I want to reverse real quick and talk about that, because this was also the case when you see a downtrend. Trend lines are used as support and resistance also, not just price action. You can use price action as support and resistance, but trend lines are to be respected as support and resistance also. So I showed you guys this in the beginning of the year when SPY was all the way down to about 370. I showed you about 375. I showed you guys, look, there's a mid downtrend in here that it's going to probably bounce off of and retest that 65-day moving average. So we're still targeting $402 for SPY. Still targeting 400. I know it seems far-fetched, but when I was yelling about that recovery back at 375, look what happened since then. We're sitting at 396. So think about this. The technical analysis you have to trust. Now, I mean, so please do not, if it don't look like it's going your way, be patient. It's going to work. But since we're respecting the downtrend, we're going to erase all this. And now I'm going to show you guys a trick real quick that you guys, I don't know if people noticed it or not, but here we go. There's also a trend line that's going through here that's used from way back in the day. Now, I mean, and I noticed this, looking at charts all over the weekend and just looking and trying to figure out what I want to talk about today. But there is a huge trend line that's running right up in between here, guys. So this is what I've been looking at could possibly turn the market. This could be huge. Make sure I'm lined up correctly. So, and usually the trend lines are pretty much even. So I'm trying to even it out here. And bear with me, guys. This is very important. Then we have that same mid trend line in there, right? So boom, this is the trend that's from way back in 2010 that started. Once it broke above resistance at 150, right? It created this full trend that it's been riding for a very long time. Now, 2020 in the pandemic, it broke above that old trend. Now, I mean, it had a huge bounce right above that old trend. Now, I mean, let me fix it and make sure I'm on point. But it had a huge bounce once it broke over that trend line. And this is a long-term trend. And this is when you've seen the full move going towards 2022 beginning, when SPY hit around 474 and 475, right? So now when it came back down and entered back into this trend zone, I'm expecting, and this is not guaranteed, but I am expecting for this SPY to continue to hold their overall uptrend. Now, if I use a combination of trend lines, and I'm not trying to throw a whole bunch of lines in there, but I want you guys to notice this, because this is part of technical analysis. Using history and comparing to what's going on now is part of technical analysis. If I add into my top trend line here that we had before, right, and put that bottom trend line in there that we had before, bear with me, guys. This is going to be pretty cool. And my book is cool because I'm a nerd. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm pretty nerdy, guys. This is going to be creating a diamond shape. Now, if anybody remember, we read a book about technical analysis last year in the book club, and we talked about diamond shapes. Diamond shapes are usually bearish. So this is why it's very important, and I hope you guys aren't confused, but it's very important for SPY to break this trend line and continue, because if not, we will be breaking out of a diamond, which is a bearish pattern, and we're going to have some downside to at least, I can't predict how low, but at least 350.
Hey Dave, quick question on that if you don't mind.
What's up?
The diamond trend though, that ends up the end of it is a wedge, right? So even though if it's bearish and it goes down at the end of that wedge, it can still break above that wedge and still be bullish. So that's another just kind of patient on it.
Yes. Now listen, the trend lines are respected as support and resistance, but guess what? We're still using moving averages for support and resistance. So yes, you can gauge if you want to get more puts once it breaks below the 200. If it breaks below the 200-day moving average, then yes, you can add in the rest of your technicals and continue to move forward. But if the overall picture is that I believe that we're going to kind of break over that we need to break that 65-day moving average. That's the ultimate thing. And I've never seen SPY recover this early in the market, but I wouldn't be surprised because it would throw people off. If this overall trend break and everybody's expectation is to be doing puts until June, which you see puts volume on everything is high because everyone's going by historical facts. We already know that it's a bearish season the first 6 months of the year. So there's a lot of bearish volume coming in on options. But if things change and big money decides to push this market forward, and we have a break above 410, which is my breaking target, which is my target for a huge reversal, this can be a huge upset for the shorters. Like, people gonna be pissed. People gonna lose a lot of money. If you're shorting stocks going into June this early, without a confirmation, you're gonna be kicking yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Yes, I feel like I should get a put here because of the downtrend. But since I put this other uptrend in there, it's kind of putting me in the back seat, like, hold up, let me chill for a minute. Maybe I have to wait and see what direction of the market is going to go this earning quarter. Now, this is based on if earnings come out spectacular. We know that these big businesses are firing people. It's not, and don't take that as being negative. If you're new to investing, when business fire employees or lay people off, if there's massive layoffs, that means the business is going to save money. In the eye of an investor, that is good news. You want the business that you're invested in to have cash flow and resources to be able to continue to invest back into the business. So that's basically what I get when I see Microsoft doing layoffs, Amazon doing layoffs. All I picture is that they're just conserving money. They're conserving cash flow. So in case things, in case the recession hit big, they got money on hand to pay their full-time employees or whoever's still working for them. If the recession don't hit, they still got money to do a rehire or blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think of those things as being an investor. But since we're trading, we're literally using the moving averages. I just want to show you guys how these trend lines are working. Where are we at in the trends? And we're literally in between, a diamond shape reversal coming in, either one up or one down. It can go either way again. But we're going to sit back. We're going to be patient. We're going to execute our plan and continue to move on. So the same thing for SPY, the same thing from last week. I want to see a break above this well, let me explain what I'm doing here. I'm going to add in a horizontal line at the 65-day moving average. And that is my weekly goal, which is the same 402 from last week. Now, once I do that, I go down to my 9-day moving average. Here, this is my 9-day moving average here, sitting around 391. I told you guys on Friday, if SPY breaks 391, we're moving. And it reversed around 11:30, 11:45. We had full conversations. A lot of people came into the live when it was in the middle of a consolidation. And I know y'all at work and don't got time. All you need to know is once you see the consolidation, you're going to get direction. I'm going to show you that also. Boom. Go down to the 4-hour chart. So looking at the 4-hour chart, this is where the story begins, right? We want the target to be 402. We understand the resistance before 402 is 398, right? because we've been fighting a 398. Every time it breaks up, it consolidates at that level, and we have a 398 resistance, right? But if we break 402, I'm literally buying a 410 call going towards February. This is the same trade from last week. Now, what happened this week that was super significant, and I want to talk about it real quick, was that, I told you guys, wait for the consolidation, then you'll find direction, and how to identify those things on different time frames is literally as simple as watching the price action go between 2 price points. This is pre-market on Friday, guys, all the way to about 9:30. Notice what's happening with these candlesticks. I'm gonna zoom in some more just to show you guys a little bit clearer. This is why technical analysis is very important. When you notice, I don't care what you're trading, my suggestion is always get familiar with one way of movement, which means either a trend line break, either a consolidation, either a gap fill, either a retest. Just get familiar with just one of those. You don't have to know them all. We come here, I know it seems like it's a lot of information, but if you wake up every day and just say, my trading style is a consolidation trade, you should look at the 5 and the 15 and find you a consolidation no matter what stock you're looking at. It's the most easiest way to trade is a consolidation. The reason I say it's the easiest way, because it gives you so much more than anything else. A retest, yes, it's good, but you're going to have to wait for the retest, right? The consolidation is damn near a guaranteed breakout sign. Guaranteed breakout sign. Let me show you what I mean. If I said wait for 391 to break before you get a call, because I want to be safe, right? Which is my blue line, which is my 9-day moving average. But the consolidation showed me that I could have bought in at 390. And it did a small retest here. Let's zoom in. Let's make sure you guys can see this. The solid candle broke above. This is the type of candle you need to see. I showed you guys on the live. You guys came in on Friday. I said, look, when you see a big solid green, more than likely the next candle going to be red, and you're going to get a retest towards the old resistance, new support. You feel what I'm saying? This is why I continue to scream the same things, because I know it seems complicated, but it's so simple. As soon as you see this break above this 390, which is our consolidation area, notice how it came back down, gave us a retest here. And this is what I'll be telling you guys over and over again. Do not worry about what everybody else is doing. Focus. Set your alert. It gave us a retest. And then from there, what do you see? A full breakout. Now, even if you was like, I'm not sure about this at 390, I don't want to touch it. I know JJB was in the live with me when this was happening. JJB decided to get a day of trade for a 392 call. Those was 20 cents. For everybody else on live Friday, JJB said, I'm getting a 392 for a day trade today. There was $20. They cashed out at $450 by the end of the day. This is why 10 o'clock rule is very important. What time did we finally have our breakout move? 10:05. What time did we have our retest move? 10:20. So by 10:20, you could have been solidly in a good trade and had a very nice continuation. If you waited and set your alert for 391, you're still in a good trade. That's 11 o'clock. You're still in a good trade, guys. Now, this is where the fun starts. Not only we got a consolidation in pre-market all the way to about 10:30, 11 o'clock, we got a consolidation between 11:25 all the way over to about 1 o'clock. You had a full 2 hours to come in and make another decision on what you want to do. Now, what is the rules don't change when this red bar come down. The rule don't change. I'm not scared when I see the red bar. I stuck to the rules with the consolidation over here. I'm gonna stick to the rules with a continuation over here. The question is, the answer to the question is we have to hold over the 391. As soon as that big red candle came in, This candle is used all the time to scare people off. If you seen a big move from 390 and you seen that little downside here, a lot of people panic selling right here. You feel what I'm saying? And that's okay. It's okay as long as you make your money. I don't care what you do. But as soon as you start seeing them big greens form again, this is just a retest, to be real. This is only a retest. As soon as you start seeing them big greens building again, I told you guys, there's early in the morning and then around 2 o'clock, you should be looking back at the market. You should be back in the market on Mondays and Fridays are our biggest moving days. If you come in at 9:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock and you notice your trade is already going off, by the time you come back around 2 o'clock, you should be deep off in the money because the direction of the market is going to show itself within the first 2 hours. It's not going to wait for nobody. So boom. Hold on, let me mute. This is definitely a retest there. And then we had a full breakout going to the end of the day. This is for 3:55, closing time. This is a 120. We finally held above the 391 and had a full continuation. This is why I tell you guys, Monday and Friday are the biggest moving days. All you got to do is recognize consolidations. You're going to make a lot of money in trades. But if you be patient, you're going to make more money. But I just showed you 3 different ways that you could have entered this one trade and made a lot of money on the way up. And I know JJB was going crazy. He was like, look, man, I finally got a good trade. He paid $20 for it and made about, I think he sold early about $350, which is fine for a cheap contract. So going into tomorrow, target don't change. Target is not changing. Let's zoom out. Let's see the whole story now. Now that I gave you that breakdown for what happened on Friday, let's zoom out. Let's see the whole story. The target don't change. We got to break above 399.54, but my target is 402. And if we break 402, my target is 410. Anybody got questions about SPY?
And Dave, I ain't got no question, man. I just want to say something real quick.
What's up, bro? What's up, big dog?
Oh yeah. Oh, so talking about them SPY calls, man. Like so I got that one. I think it was the January 27th, like 400 call.
Right. When I told you to grab, right?
Yeah. So I've been kind of engaging off that, but like I saw a video, man, and because I was kind of scared. I almost scared myself off of them because it kind of turned red for a second, but.
And listen, you got a better price than me. I told you at 387.
Hey, yeah,
right.
For real. But hey, and speaking of them JJB with the 393s, I was in class and I saw some the 395s. They was 2 cents, bro. They went to $100.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
listen, if I was charging all my SPY trades, people been mad at me. I probably paid a total of $160 and made about $1,500 on Friday.
That's crazy, man.
But I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But like I've engaged and like I saw a video. I don't know if y'all heard of. You heard of the dude like Aristotle Investments or whatever.
Yeah.
The honey drip and all that. So they're talking about like that 9-day moving average. I can't find the video no more. I was gonna post it in the group, but like that like you was saying, like that big red candle, that retest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They try to fake you off, but like really only look for the volume to go behind that candle. You know what I'm saying? So you might see, if you see like where the buy-in with the big green candles, that's like a lot of volume. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're riding that 9-day moving average, if it touch that line and you see some volume behind it, that's how you know it's kind of going to really reverse. But if you see a big red candle or a reversal candle, if there ain't no volume behind it, it's usually like a little fake out or something on the short term, trying to either like an RSI cool off or just trying to, you know what I'm saying, get people to sell off the you know what I'm saying, get you off the contract or whatever.
No, for sure, most definitely. But this is why, again, too, what I just showed you, I was on the 5-minute chart. Notice how it looks on the 15-minute chart. The candle don't even break the line. The candle don't even break the line on the 15. That's why I say use bigger time frames. If you're using a 1 minute or a 5 minute, I can use the 5 and stuff. It's different for me. I'm not suggesting that for you guys. I want you guys to go through the 15, the 4, and the weekly. If you get consistently seeing those big time frames, you would have noticed on the 15, this a bullish engulfing. That's a full bullish engulfing on the 15. Oh, we definitely about to take off. The 9-day moving average crossed the 200-day moving average. We're definitely about to take off. You feel me? This is why I say, look right here, 65-day moving average crossed the 200-day moving average in aftermarket. So on Monday, we're definitely about to take off. You feel what I'm saying? Like all of it matters, but the entry is everything. It don't matter, you can have the best contract ever. And yes, they're gonna, I bought my 400 at the end of the day on Thursday. So when it came up to the next day, it went down, of course, and I didn't panic. I sat there, I was like, hold up, let me chill for a minute. I literally, me and Lou, I think Lou was in the room. I was like, Lou, we seen this before. They gonna try to throw us off before earnings. But I said every week on Friday before Tesla earnings, the stock market go crazy. Then I also said Netflix can carry on the whole stock market because it's such a big business. And then I said, this is like all the things that we put together from the consolidation first thing in the morning, it worked. Everything we talked about. You just gotta wait for it. And it seemed like it's gonna take forever. The patience is everything though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But yeah, definitely, man. I'm glad more people talk about the 9-day move. I think people are learning about these moving averages. I've been on moving averages. I've been on a lot of things. I like to show you guys different techniques of trading because you may catch on, hold on to one where it's like, man, this is my one. I like moving average. I like quadrant lines. I like Ichinoku. I like whatever you like. You can hold on to yours. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep switching it up for you guys. I'm probably gonna come in with Bollinger Bands, Bollinger Bands coming to next month. You guys didn't really vote for it, so I may, y'all let me know about that also. But yeah, 9-day moving average, such a strong moving average. Every time price action breaks below that, we watch this 387 like a hawk. You right on the 19th. That's that 387. I loved when we broke above and raced right. Every time we listen, guys. Oh man, so much we can talk about. This is crazy.
Hold on,
what you go ahead, Miss Nancy?
So in relation to moving averages and RSI,
yeah,
what does the RSI have to reflect so we get, I guess, 2 confirmations besides the moving average that price action is going to go up?
So look, let me zoom up the RSI. This is my RSI, guys. Notice how, and I said this 50 times. This is pre-market on the 19th. The RSI was consolidating, and you can do this on all time. You can do this on anything on Yahoo Finance. You could chart anything. But this is the RSI, guys. For 4 hours, the RSI was consolidating at 20. When the RSI becomes oversold, the likelihood of a reversal is literally like 90% every time. Especially, this is why you trade big stocks. This is why you trade Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, SPY, because the reflection in those bigger stocks is way more better. It gives you so much more juice. You feel what I'm saying? So when I was noticing a low RSI and the stock prices continue to go down, now at that point, all I got to do is figure out where's the bottom. I already had alerts set for 387. I already had alerts set for 391. Once it goes off of my phone or whatever I'm on, I just pop into the chart for 1 second. Notice the chart's gonna tell me something. Is it gonna be a consolidation or it's gonna be just a solid support? And then if the price action, that's what I was just about to get into. From there, from noticing the RSI being low, let's zoom down. Let's see how the RSI works together. Notice this was the RSI. The price came down barely right here and then popped right on up. That is why RSI is very important. You had from 4 in the morning to 8:30, and then you had till 11:15, 11:30 was the bottom, and that was it. We hit 387.35, reverse back up. You never seen 387.35 again. The next support area was 388. That's when consolidation started happening. And then from there, we got a big spot. Huh?
Is there a way to set an alert for RSI?
You probably can. I haven't did it. I just set my alert for the support area. Because more than likely, if I zoom all the way out, this support area is going to be a support from way back over here. You know what I'm saying? Like if I really like just put a line here, you'll be like, oh, that's the same. And this is why looking at the history of the charts matter. Boom. If I put this support area here and then zoom all the way over here, you'll notice what happened back in, the 6th. We consolidated at the 387. What happened when we broke below? We hit 385, recovered 387. Like I just used the historical factors from there. This is how I literally can gauge if, like the Apple example I posted, that's how I can gauge if Apple's going to go to my exact numbers because I have the historical facts to back it. You know what I mean? And then look, every time it hit 387, look what happened. From 387, boop, we ran up to 397, 398. We ran up to a high as 399, and then boom, double top at 399, broke all the way back down. Where did it break down to? 387. Everybody understand that?
Yeah. What was it? I think what was your target for SPY again?
402. The same thing from last week. 402, nothing changed.
I don't know if you just mentioned it with the RSI thing. I was listening, but I was kind of going into the chart.
Go ahead.
But low 20s for the low RSI, like
Yes.
low 20s, and then what, high 70s you would say?
Over 70. Well, I got mine set for over 80, and I got mine set for 20. You feel me?
So
It usually is
the kind of area.
right. So it usually goes 70-30. But RSI has been getting maxed out. So I kind of booted mine up a little bit more and gave me that 80-20. You feel what I'm saying? Which I like the 80-20.
Definitely. Because RSI done faked me out a couple times. That's why you gotta use more than one confirmation.
Oh, yeah,
There's been time on trades like Netflix and stuff where it's been the company move a good amount, 15% move,
Yeah.
and the RSI be sitting at 75. The chart, the candle be at the top of the Bollinger Band, and I'll be like, all right, it's about to reverse, and it would just keep shooting up.
Right.
So
it depends, and it also you already know RSI changes depending on what time frame you're watching. So if you're watching on the 5, the RSI can be 82, 85, 89, and only come down about 75. But if you're watching RSI on the 15, it can hit 80, come down to 60. You feel what I'm saying? And then pop back up. If you're looking at RSI on the 4-hour, we're not even nowhere close to where we need to be. We're just hitting 60 now. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta make sure you find that time frame where you can be comfortable with, where you can make the side decisions. That's why I always suggest 4-hour, 15-minute, at the most 4 hours. 4 hours to me is always going to be a confirmation time frame for me. I love the 4-hour. It gives me clear confirmation. It tells me exactly what happens and what I'm supposed to do. I love the 4-hour time frame.
Definitely.
For sure. But what I want to really what I want to point out was what I was going to say before Miss Nancy said something. Miss Nancy be getting me. You be getting me, Miss Nancy. I was locked in. But yes. I might have mute you again, Miss Nancy. But no,
I'm trying to get this thing. We trying to get this.
No, for sure, you're good. But yes, understand, and this is going to take practice, guys. I did not pick this up in one day. You feel? I probably picked it up in about 6 months, but it's going to take you some time to get it. You feel what I'm saying? It's really going to take you some time to get it. What I'm doing now and what y'all see me doing now is perfecting my craft. So I'm finding different things and bringing it to you guys' attention. You feel what I'm saying? But I've been calling out stuff early, way before it happened. That's just regular stuff for me. Because I don't like to chase nothing. You feel me? I hate the fact that you got to wait for somebody or you got to wait for a sign. No, I can make a plan. I can execute the plan and I can go by it and do whatever I feel like doing. An example of that, and I'm not trying to harp on this for a long time. I know you guys seen me post this, but I just want to make sure you guys understand like what I did with Apple. And I've been doing this, for a long time, of course, but if you're able, to call something way earlier than it's supposed to happen, and I don't know, let me see the best way I can show you guys this without trying to be here for too long. This is the example I want to show you guys real quick. This is accuracy, guys. And I'm showing you this from a picture because I don't want to set the chart up again and go through all that. But this, if I post something on the 16th and then the price hit my target, and I know people probably saying, "Oh, you could have got a put." No, you could have got a put, right? If the overall market is already bullish for me in my mind on the 4 hour, so I'm not looking at puts, I'm looking at calls. But if you want to get a put at 137, do that. Like, you can adjust my trade, or you can talk and have comments. Like, that's cool with me. But if I'm coming in on the 16th and then on the 17th up to the 18th, we get a move to 137, and then my support alert goes off at 133.86 where it consolidated at. And the call that listen, just because it don't work on Tuesday, which was because Monday was a holiday, just because it don't work on Tuesday, it does not mean it's not gonna work for the rest of the week, guys. Yeah, this trade was so crazy that you could have bought in a put here, wrote it down got a 135 put, wrote it down to 133, bought your 135 call, and just wrote it out. More than likely, this is going to continue to run up, because this is earnings week, right? We want to catch the vibration for the earnings. But the preciseness of the prices, that's what gets me. You feel me? I'm giving you an exact price. You feel what I'm saying? The exact price. And then this is the actual trade that I put out. The weekly target, 137.04. The 4 hour target, 136.44, which is what? My confirmation, right? My support area, 133.86. On the 15th, set your alert. If I'm giving you this type, and I'm not making it complicated when I'm doing it, but if you could be a day ahead of everybody else, you're winning, guys. You're winning. Just keep that in mind. I'm definitely not going to harp over that for long. I just wanted to show you guys, like, don't sleep on this technical analysis, and don't clutter your head up with noise. It's so important for you to lock in on the stock that you love. We see this when you see Lou post about Tesla. He locked in on the stock that he loved. He canceled out what this analyst says. He canceled out what this news report said. He locked in on the charts, guys. Period. There's only two analyses, man. Fundamental, technical analysis. Is no disrespect to nothing else that goes on in the world. But if you're not focusing on either one of those, it's a distraction. I'm gonna read news because I just like to read the news. I want to see what the government's talking about. That's Fed news, right? It's gonna affect the market. But if my technical analysis is already pre-predicted before anything come out, who wins? Who wins in that scenario? The Fed? No, I'm ahead of you guys. I called out the support exactly where it needs to be. That is what we come in here to do every day, guys. Keep that in mind. And speaking of Apple, and this year I'm using moving averages. I changed up my whole strategy. I literally started using moving averages this year. Like, I know about moving average. I knew about them before, but I'm using strictly moving averages for your support and resistance. Same thing. Apple. If you're an Apple guy, if you're an Apple girl, this is your stock. 65-day moving average sitting at 164. That is your weekly target. So that means by the end of the week, I want to see 164 touched. Okay? Support area on the weekly is the 9-day moving average. Why? Because the price action is over it. It broke over the 9-day moving average, which is 137.10. I want to see on the week that we continue to close over 137.10, right? Break it down to the 4-hour chart. And this is simple. I can't make it more simple if I possibly could. Look, 9-day moving average is about to cross the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour. That is my confirmation time frame. So if this moving averages break over, more than likely, we're going to get to our target of 146. I'm not telling you run out there and grab a 145 call. Why? Because I put out a 135 for you with 3 weeks to spare, right? So it's the same thing over and over. If the price wake up on Monday and you see that RSI shoot up to 80 or 70, your buy-in area is 137 or the 9-day moving average or the 200-day moving average. That is your buy-in price. And if that fails, we get a put to the 65-day moving average. Well, I doubt it because we're already bullish on the 4-hour. We're already bullish, guys. The trend changed on the 4-hour. So what can you do to try to make yourself have more confirmations? Add in the trend line, right? Add in the trend line. There you go. Now I got a trend line in there. Now I got another confirmation because I'm nervous. I don't want to jump out and spend money without a guarantee. So if the price do break down below this 137, look for the trend line to hold. And if the price breaks this trend line, let's go to the doodle. Let's make sure I doodle a little bit today. If price breaks below this right here and breaks below that trend line, how do you enter the trade here, guys? Wait for it to retest the trend line. That's how you enter the trade. Always look for GRC, gaps, retest, consolidations. This is going to be my entering point. And then it's going to more than likely break down because the 4-hour trend changed, right? That's our confirmation trend. The 4-hour trend changed. If it breaks down, we're going to have a continuation back here. Now, if we pop up first thing in the morning, which I believe because it's earnings week of the biggest earnings, the biggest companies in the world has earnings this week. We've been preparing for this since December. I've been telling y'all about this since the beginning of January. They try to fool everybody out the first 6 months of the year. First 6 days of the year, where they made it seem like we're going to be bearish. No, they was giving themselves a discount. That's what they was doing. And then boom, if we have a break up here, and this is how you enter. If it gaps up first thing Monday morning and pop up here to about 140, 141, your entry is still 137. Still, and we're going to just ride that wave back up. So you got multiple ways to enter a good trade. You just got to be patient and wait for your time. That's why I tell you guys to bring notes in here. Y'all should be setting alerts. Set them alerts. Don't be afraid. Especially when you go to work. If you got a job, you should be the number one component of alerts. And you should be looking for long swings at the same time. That's why the trades that I'm putting out, the 1 or 2, 3 trades, I'm really testing y'all. See, like, who's paying attention? Who's going to pay? I'm giving the workers working trades. Those trades are for people that got jobs. Those trades are people that cannot look into the Discord every 5 minutes and see what we're talking about. I'm giving you exactly what you want. You feel me? So keep that in your mind, bro. I'm considerate. I'm not crazy. I'm gonna give you guys some trades. Now, I can't give y'all some of these day trades because they move so fast. Then you'll be looking crazy like, I don't know what to do on the day trade. I want y'all to learn how to do these swings and make some money. And then let's start adjusting to something new after you get this part. But I'm sorry, I'm preaching right now, guys. It's been 45 minutes already. I already said about
Preach, man, preach.
I'm sweating in here, bro. Jess, I need something to drink. Jess! Somebody tell Jess, give me something to drink. Amazon. Amazon is a high watch for sure. I see y'all list. I'm gonna go through a few on y'all list. I can't touch all of them, but I'm probably gonna go through a few of them. Some of the ones that is favorable. I didn't want to have a long live today, but I really want to, you know what I mean? But it's so much that we could talk about because it's literally, it's all technical analysis, man. It's really nothing more than that. We're traders. Traders use technical analysis. You gotta home in on that. Amazon, boom. If I get they chart to act right. So we had a smaller resistance still, the 65-day moving average. We're breaking above that now. Let's go to the weekly. Boom. The same thing that you notice on the 15-minute time frame is the same thing you're going to be able to notice on any other time frame. The only thing that scares me about this is that the 200-day moving average is crossing over the 65-day moving average. Now, this can mean one or two things. It can mean, okay, we may go and retest that 9-day moving average at 93, or it's going to just consolidate here or break back up. But either way, that scares me. I don't really like to see that. I'd rather see, vice versa, 65 crossing the 200. But either way, it's okay, right? My weekly target is 122. And I know people are like, damn, he is really going crazy. Like, how you gonna get to 122? It's a weekly target. I got a week for it to, do that. It may not do it. It may not. It may not reach that far. But just call it a target for now, right? My support area for this week is the 9-day moving average still, which is 93.31, right? Whenever you see a big bullish candle, this red candle is what's supposed to happen. This is the retest candle. The next candle, and this is the weekly chart, we should have green. We should have green, guys. It shouldn't be, nothing that we may not, who knows? Let's see how tomorrow go. Where futures is at? You know what I mean? Let's look at futures, see what they're talking about. But my target for the weekly is 122.70. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Boom, right here. So on a 4-hour chart tells a different story. 65-day is crossing over the 200-day moving average. And this price action is bouncing right above the 9-day moving average, which is a great sign. That's a great sign. We might have a huge continuation. Now I have to throw in my quadrant lines because I have no moving averages over price action. That is how you're supposed to see your moving averages. All moving averages are supposed to be above price action. That's how you know you're going to have a continuation or a nice push. Confirmation of a continuation is when we break out of this double top or this resistance area, right? Which is $98.63. So ultimately, we want to break above this blue line. This is my breaking point. If you're not in the trade, guess what? You have to wait. You got to wait for this to happen. And this is the 4-hour chart, so you're going to wait for a little bit longer. But we know Amazon is a quality business, right? Their earnings is on February 2nd. So ideally, I was putting out 110 calls, 115, 120, going towards February 15th. In order for you to see that, you have to see the confirmation break over the $98 and some change. Please wait for that $98 and some change. Be patient. But we're going to go look at some of these volumes too. Now, because there's a big earnings this week and all these big companies got earnings, you're going to probably see sympathy out of the market, especially if Tesla do good. If Tesla do good, the whole market is going to be green because Tesla carry that much weight. You feel what I'm saying? Microsoft is this week on 24th, right? If Microsoft do good on 24th, the whole market's going to be green, right? And Amazon and Apple is on the same date. Thank you, sweetie. You heard me?
No, what did you say?
Oh, no, you good. That's why I love you. I love you.
Love you.
Yeah, love you too. Goddamn. She brought me something to drink, y'all. She's a psychic. She know. Amazon and Apple's the same day. So if we're gonna more than likely see sympathy. Oh, I forgot about Meta. Golly, how I forget about Meta? February 1st, Meta. Google, February 2nd. If Microsoft perform well this week, guys, don't worry about it. Throw your notes out. The whole market gonna be running all the way to February. Do anybody agree with that?
100%.
If Microsoft last year surpassed Apple in market cap, that means they got the most money. If Microsoft perform well, bro, we are out of here. We're spaceshipping. I'm getting a 410 call for SPY. I'm gonna get a 420 call for SPY because Microsoft
That's what do good.
right. Microsoft is in SPY. SPY holds the most percentage of Microsoft and Apple. So SPY's reaction, if Microsoft SPY is going to go crazy. This is why when I showed you that shape of SPY, it's based on what's going to happen this week. I'm telling you guys. 402. I'm telling you guys. If we break that 402, you might well buckle up and go for the ride. We're going to fly until at least March. I'm not even going to gas you. That's not even gas. That's truth. If anybody can listen, can we contest to that? It was scary starting off this year. It was kind of like, oh man, the market gonna go whatever. I trusted in what I was seeing, and I leaned on that super heavy, guys. But yeah, Amazon target, of course, $100, of course. But you want to see that confirmation break. above that resistance, which is like 98 and some change. So this is a tight area, very tight area, but please be patient with Microsoft for sure. Going to the monthly chart real quick because my chart kind of messing up. We're looking good. I like this monthly chart. We are looking like we're going to probably close above this line, which is going to give us a huge move towards 109 or 113. But I do not like the 9-day moving average again crossing over to 65. I hate to see those. Know what I mean? But things can change. We can have a good week this week and push that 9-day moving average back above the 65. But it's something that you got to be aware of with Amazon. These moving averages aren't in our favor at this point. You know what I'm saying? We look good, but we got to wait for mega confirmation from out of this one. That's if you're not in it already. I know some people jumped in it already, off that bottom, but it's tough to gauge. Please be patient. Do not rush into Amazon. Get your confirmations. Monthly, I want to do a little monthly line real quick just to make sure. And it's really going to be, 109. And that's the same resistance from back here in, that was from 2020. That was February 2020. Look what time we're at. We're at, February 2023 now. So 3 years later, the same resistance is still there and it's sitting at a moving average. So historical facts matter, guys. And we had one thing about 2020 was that 2018 to 2020 on the monthly, we had a beautiful wedge. So I don't know what they're going to form here, but that was such a beautiful trading time back then, bro. Such a beautiful time. And Amazon was like, how much? $2,500, $2,700, almost $3,000. They split. So what you're seeing now is a split price. For all the people that's new, what you're seeing now out of Amazon being under $100, that's a split price. Amazon was like $2,500, almost $3,000. Now, what I mean, so keep that in mind when you're long-term investing. That in 5 to 10 years, you may see Amazon back at $500, $600, and then you're gonna be kicking yourself and say, "Man, I could have bought Amazon for 97. I could have bought Amazon for 83." So please keep that in mind. If we have a recession, if the Amazon comes to the 64s and the 70s, man, you'll be dumb not to buy $100 or $200 worth of Amazon. You'll be dumb.
To be honest, I seen the flow on Amazon like 2.5 weeks ago, and that's when it was around 82.
Yeah.
They was buying, Big Money was buying 50 strikes.
$50 puts?
Yeah, no, call, like in the money, 50, the strike was 50. So that let me know that they was going to exercise that.
Oh, yeah.
Price.
Yeah, they get a discount.
Far out. That was when it was around 80 something, so they banking.
Oh, yeah, they banging.
I know that.
Oh, yeah, they banging. That's one thing about when you follow that big money, when you look at their strike prices and look what they're buying, they're doing something. Their plan is way beyond just a 1 year, 1 day plan. They looking 5 to 10 years in the future. They like, man, we know Amazon gonna be $500 to $1,000 in 10 years. It's almost guaranteed at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling y'all, don't miss out on this opportunity. What else we got?
These people been buying Amazon, Google, and just those two really and Tesla. Amazon and Google, because they've been in the game longer, and Tesla like the newer one. But Amazon and Google, you gotta think a lot of these people, if you like 30 and up, 28 and up, you remember Amazon and Google at $3,000, $2,000 a share.
Yeah, that's facts.
I remember Amazon at 300 back in 2015 or somewhere around there. 300.
Bro,
150.
I'm old enough to see Apple at 98 cents. That's how old I am, guys.
I ain't know about the market back then.
Bro, I'm telling you, but they weren't teaching us either. You know what I mean? Imagine they came in with that thought and stuff like that. And that's why and I'm not trying to sidetrack here, but if y'all got kids and you're learning this from me, boy, y'all better take out at least 5-10 minutes, sit down with your kids and be like, look, man, this is support and resistance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being honest. Because everything I'm doing now is basically for them. You know what I mean? It ain't, I can't die with this money. You know what I mean? Like, it's for them. So when they move on and they want to do things in their life, they know that they can always fall back on trading and investing. And that's an advantage that they have that we did not have. You know what I'm saying? Most people, anybody who was introduced to trading at 15, 13 years old? Who? My oldest kid is almost 6. Well, he's about to be 7 this year. My daughter just turned 5, right? And my baby is 1. So they're going to have a full advantage about trading and investing. Full advantage. I plan on putting them on this. I already put my son on it. He loves sitting here with me. You feel what I'm saying? So think about that.
Got to make each generation better, man. That's the goal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For sure. All right, let's get to the next one, man. Let's get to some of this fun stuff. I know you guys, y'all got so much going on. Y'all got Amazon Spy, well, Netflix, NVIDIA. Let's talk about NVIDIA. I think that's a good way to make a turn, man. Look, guys. So what do I do? I know you guys probably have questions like, what do you do if you don't have no stock to look at? The first thing I'm gonna always do is look at the earnings calendar. That's literally my go-to. The market usually has big reaction around earnings, and then they fall off once earnings come by. Once you get past these last, March, by March, you should see some downside. Period. I don't care if the market is gonna be super bullish or not. You're gonna see a retest towards support or something. But March is my downside month going towards April, May, and June. So my plan don't change. I'm gonna be happy if I see the 410 and 402s. I'm gonna be celebrating. But in March, I'm not gonna be dumb. I'm gonna give me some puts. I'm gonna ride those straight on out. NVIDIA. Now, first thing I do is if I was new to NVIDIA, first thing I'm gonna look at is earnings date, February 22nd, 2023. Scroll down, they give you all the news that you need to know about the company, right? But we know NVIDIA is good. We know NVIDIA microchips is gonna always be huge, as long as EV cars is around, as long as video games are around. A lot of people use the NVIDIA chips and PlayStations, and they switch out all these chips in Xbox. So NVIDIA is gonna be around for the graphic chips. The NVIDIA gonna be around forever. I mean, I don't think NVIDIA gonna die off no time soon. So it's kind of easy to gauge if it's a quality business or not. Yes, it's quality. And NVIDIA is not going nowhere. Boom. I delete the whole situation. I go down to my weekly chart. We talk about the story. The bottom of the video was in, oh my gosh. Let me hold up. Because every time I see a date of the bottom, I'll be like, man, I told these guys back in September we're going to have a good, recovery time. Back in September, man, I told you guys, man, the market's going to recover in October. And some people believe, some people didn't. But either way it go. October came, we seen a huge recovery from out of NVIDIA going towards, it peaked out at 170 in December, right? So this is, October, December. This is why I tell you guys, the best time to buy stocks is, May and June, the October, and the end of September and December. I'll tell you guys that every year because you can look at the chart and tell. It does the same thing. What's this? June, July, pop up in August, right? Come back down. September, worst month historically, September is the worst month to trade. Always get puts in mid-August and run them down to September. Then boom, we have recovery, right? October, recovery time. NVIDIA setup is perfect for a nice move. 9-day cross the 200-day. It was at 145 in the beginning of this year. It's been up $30 since, almost $40. And we're breaking over the 65-day moving average. This is the weekly chart. The RSI is at 57. So let's delete those. Let's go ahead and say our support is now the 65-day moving average, which is 170, 174. Let's say, below that, my support is the 9-day moving average, which is at 160.37. Now, we change that time frame, jumping to the 4-hour chart, our confirmation time frame, it looks perfect. Moving averages is lining up. Everything is looking really good. Now, since the moving averages are all below my price action, same rule apply. I got to go back in time, go get my quadrant lines. Let me set up my quadrant lines real quick and just show you where that resistance is lying at, which is at about 180, about 181, right? So I already put out an NVIDIA play because I'm already, I told you I like to be ahead. I don't like to really chase. I like to be ahead of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? 190 is my target for NVIDIA. 190 is my target for NVIDIA. Let's zoom out some more. Let's show you why. Trying to wait for my stuff to load up. I might have to go to TradingView because this is look like it's taking too long. I might have to go to TradingView. Okay, I can do the 1 day. Okay, boom. Here go the 1 day. So my target is 190. Why is it 190? That's the resistance back in August. And this is a cup and handle setup. So more than likely, we're going to get 190 coming up soon. Let's delete this again to show you that quadrant line from back then. This is my quadrant lines. This is my resistance, 191, 192. That's my resistance, right? We already got the cup and handle formation in there on a daily. We already got we already breaking above the moving averages. There's nothing in the world stopping NVIDIA from breaking towards the 190. Nothing. There's nothing but air. You feel what I'm saying? So do not be surprised because Microsoft earnings is coming up this week. Tesla earnings. Do not be surprised when NVIDIA run up to 190. The trade, and this is tough. I know y'all like, damn, I missed NVIDIA. I want to get in it. Listen, man, the trade I put out was a NVIDIA 190 call for February 17th, over 173.69. This is the trade I put out on the 19th. So if you guys are looking at NVIDIA, guess what? You have to wait. I can give you one more little area for it to break, and it's not even a good area. It's not even a good area. We may can get it over 180.49, but that's, you're paying premium price at this point. But 190 is my target. All right. If you guys didn't see it, what's up?
Sorry. You also can pay the SOXL is cheaper option.
ETL. Sorry about that. SOXL. You're right. Sorry about that. ETF is always there. It's a semiconductor ETF. And yes, you could trade this one for sure. I never traded it before, honestly. But yes, my suggestion about whole shares. I mean, $12, $13, man. Like it's one of those things where it's like,
been in them whole shares since about $9.
Exactly, bro. Like it's like one of those things. You know what I mean?
I got about almost 1,000 of them hoes.
No, yeah, it's definitely worth it at this price. You know what I mean? Especially them low prices. They're around $13. My target for EXO, if you get the ETF, is 1766, which is a 200-day moving average. So if you like it, you know what I mean, please don't be afraid to be like, buy whole shares, dude. In 10 years, we're not going to be talking about NVIDIA at $100 or $170, $190. We're going to be like, NVIDIA is $400, $500. That's the ultimate plan. You know what I mean? So seeing this at $12, $13 is still a huge discount. Huge discount. Let's zoom out and show you how much of a discount you're getting. 1 week chart, this was $68 back at the peak in 2001. So, yeah. But again, when do we buy whole shares? June.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting on.
There you go. Wait until this market go flat. Is more than likely it's gonna go flat. You gotta wait for it. I know it seemed like it ain't. I know I'm hyping it up like it ain't, but I believe it's still gonna go flat. I'm just gonna ride this wave until like mid-February, and then I'm gonna just start chilling out a little bit because I want to see what these first earnings look like anyway, like. And then I'm gonna go crazy on whole shares, and then I'm gonna call it a day. I'm good. I'm gonna do some leaps. 2024, I believe, will be super bullish. I'm gonna do some leaps. I'm gonna chill, and I probably won't even trade from July all the way to the next year. Like I'm literally planning on that. That's my ultimate plan. That's my go-to. Because the man in 2020, we knew about these long leap contracts, bruh. I ain't gonna tell you, bruh. The long lead contracts, bro, if you can afford one, man, it's crazy. I put out GameStop $30 call in November before GameStop went to $500. You can imagine, how, and people was mad because they sold early. And then somebody had covered calls on 100 shares. I was calling GameStop at like $8. And then people started doing covered call. I didn't know it was going to do that, but it was just a crazy time, very crazy time. But now I think we're a little bit more in control of what we do here. Anybody else have questions, comments, or concern? And I know it's a lot of stocks y'all want me to go over, but man, y'all need to go over it and send me a picture. Like, y'all, listen, this week challenge, show me a chart that you worked on your by yourself. Please show me a chart. Because I mean, it's easy for me to go through this and do this 1,000 times. But if you show me a chart, I'll reply with my chart and then we'll line them up and make sure they're on point. Another thing, I'm gonna start introducing you guys slowly but surely. I know you guys probably like, man, why you gonna do this now? It's so easy this way. Spy on my trading view. I got this, fancy trading view set up, man. That's you can just literally just buy whenever it say buy. Know what I mean? And one day I'm gonna break it down to you guys, but I need y'all to understand the basics first. I mean, it's unfair for you guys to get this luxury, and I had to work, 4-5 years to understand how to do this. So can't give you all the goods, baby. Can't give you all the goods.
And I've been using TradingView for a minute now.
But you know about this right here?
Well, I don't know about this,
Listen,
man.
Listen, chill there. Chill, let me get them delete that there. Chill.
Yeah. Hey, I was gonna say, bro, 1 year ago on Netflix, like a year ago this week, it popped up on my Facebook. I had a Netflix $400 put. Got in it for, it must have been earnings or something. I don't know what caused it such a movement, but got in it for $40. The next day, it was worth, the high was $2,200.
Yeah, bro.
And got out for like $1,700.
Yeah,
It
bro.
was Netflix 1 year ago today.
No, that's facts. That's facts. And that's what was crazy was, and me and Lou should have been on top of it a little bit more. I mean, our old group was perfect. We had a great time. We learned a whole bunch. But when that reversal came, I wasn't prepared for it properly. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that we're gonna continue to be bullish last year, beginning of the year, and I failed on that part. But then once I recovered, I had some great trades now. Don't think I fell off. I was just more excited about the bullish movement, and then I wasn't going back to my, common sense, basic, super simple strategies. I was just overlooking that, just thinking for myself instead of looking at the chart. You gotta admit when you're wrong. I mean, but I fixed that ASAP. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, I lost money on Zillow, Square, a couple of them. And I was like, hold up, stop. Because those are expensive. Bro. Yeah. But listen, though, it's a process. And that was my first time like seeing that recovery. And I was like, hold up, man. I think I don't want to miss nothing at that point. But then I made up with it with ATVI and Apple. And I came back strong. But that first 2-3 months of the year last year, dude, was gruesome. It was ugly. You feel what I'm saying? It was ugly. But again, this is why I continue to work on my craft, because I don't have no repeats. You know what I'm saying? I want to be better than I was last year. You know what I mean? I'm not normal right now. You obviously see, how much dedication and time I put into this. And I'm, definitely, I'm doing this for free. So, I'm definitely not normal. But yeah, man, we definitely we're going to have a recovery back to 400. I mean, easy. Netflix 400, easy. And that's actually my my demand supply is at the top. So my supply box is right there at 400. So what's up, dog? This kind of similar to the ADX breakout. Yeah, for sure. All of them, I'm telling y'all, man, it was so hard last year in June and July. It was so like tech stocks may be falling, but the rest of the market was on a full recovery mode. I was looking at Starbucks because Tanya, she threw that up like 2-3 weeks ago. And I'm like, damn, Starbucks. And I was looking at Nike. And I'm not saying these are trades for me. I'm just saying like whole share buying is the way to do it. You feel what I'm saying? That's investing. You know what I mean? We trade to make passive income. So keep that, don't understand what I'm saying. Starbucks was freaking $75, you know what I mean, in June and May of last year. And I had this chart set up for so long. You feel what I'm saying? Because I was doing like Starbucks 120 calls and 115, 110s, and Starbucks dropped all the way to $70-something. And look at that recovery since. $30 pickup here, right? It looked like we're going to more than likely retest the 121. And Starbucks is a great company. Same thing with Boeing. And Boeing, we caught Boeing. You know what I mean? I was putting out the 150s and the 160s. We was there for that. But it's just that these good companies, we cannot stop we cannot compare good companies to penny stocks. We cannot think because the big company is falling, that is going to be falling to a point where it's not going to recover. We got to understand what's a good company and what's a bad company. Boeing came down to 119.95 and it's at 200, guys. This is an $80 move. That's almost 100% in whole shares. You know what I mean?
Missed that.
Huh?
Said missed that boat. I seen it, but missed that boat.
Yeah. Will's killing that last year. I ain't going to gas you up here. Let me put out some. I love Boeing though, and everybody knew I did. So people was coming in and talking about what about Boeing? I'm like, I love Boeing. I love Boeing. Like Boeing, man. Boeing used to be my stock forever, man. That was literally one of my first options I traded was a Boeing option. My first diamond I found was a Boeing diamond. Here go a diamond shape right here. We talked about it before. And this is how you know I chart too much because I literally can do this all day. Like some people can't do this all day, but I can do this all day, bro. Here go your first diamond shape breakdown, which is a bearish sign. And this was pandemic. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, I can skin this cow 1,000 different ways to find me a good trade. You know what I mean? I don't have to, really rely on nothing but my charting. But yeah, man, my first diamond I seen out of Boeing. First downside in 2020, we was trading it all the way up to about 255. I had whole shares at 90, rolled that all the way up. Sold. I ain't catch no downside because I wasn't a super put guy back then. I was just following the trend of the market, and then boom, this year seen a double bottom at 119 and big recovery, man. Been doing this for a long time, but yeah. Super fun stuff, guys. But yeah, I can't hold y'all for that long today, man. Football games on. I know y'all want to go. Now, I mean, but listen, a lot of y'all showed up today. Now it ain't a little bit of y'all, it's a lot of y'all. So if you knew and got questions, please ask, man, for real, because I'll make this sound really easy, but it's consistency, it's practice, it's really that. You know what I'm saying? I make it look easy too. But it's really consistency and practice. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're not having the time on your own to spend 30 minutes to an hour a day to practice on your charts and to practice on your research, bro, you really don't want to do this for real. You just want to make some money. I mean, I do this because I want to be free forever. I don't never want to go back working for nobody else, even though I work for my wife right now. I don't want to go work for nobody other than her. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. I don't want to be waking up getting on somebody else's clock, bro. It's not for me. It's definitely not for me.
That's the American dream. Shit.
For sure. So that's what I wake up. That's my motivation. I want to be free. I want to be free, man. I don't want to owe nobody. I don't want to give nobody my time. I want my time to be free, man. And this trading is going to get you there. It's all come down to how bad you want it. Ask Lou. Ask Pete. Ask some of these guys that have been here for a long time. When they put when they start practicing everything I've been teaching for all these years, bro, they're winning. They're winning, bro. They're making money consistently because I've been banging it in their head. I'm like, look, guys, this is a strategy. This is how you get in. This is how you get out. Go for your percentages. Now we're going for target prices. Like, it's the same thing. You just got to practice it. And if you make $100 a day, be happy with your $100. I'll tell y'all rules. Make it the first base before you get a home run. Everybody see these big trades with these 600. I got a 600%, 700% trade from a $10 contract. It took me 3-4 years to understand how to do that. You feel what I'm saying? Think about this. It don't matter what contract you buy, how much it costs. It's about a percentage. You feel me? I can pull out a 600% contract easily on any type of day. Know what I mean? It takes years of practice for that, bro. I did not wake up with that skill set. You feel what I'm saying? So I need y'all to understand what I'm telling y'all. Lock in. Stop playing. Stop giving this 50%. Try 100%. Because once you start making that money, no one's going to be able to tell you nothing. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to listen to nobody. You don't have to answer nobody. This is ultimate freedom. Trading is free. You can sit in your house.
No taxes either.
Oh, it is taxes, 30% every year. Ain't gonna go that crazy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we definitely gotta pay taxes on that income that you make off of trading. But that's nothing though. If you make 100,000, boom, go ahead and send them that 30 bands. Who cares? You up 70 bands. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you make $1,000 in a year, send them that $300. It's okay. It's okay. Because you literally took you seconds to do. You know what I mean? It'd be trades. I make $200-300 in a matter of minutes. It's okay. You feel what I'm saying? Don't look at taxes being a bad thing. You're free. You're making more money than your average American if you make $100 a day. And that's sad. And I know it sounds sad. It sounds horrible, but it's true. If you make $150 a day, you're making more money than your average American. With taxes. That's the craziest part. With the taxes.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah, great perspective. Because everyone comes into training with this grand idea of like, I'm gonna make $1 million. But first you gotta make $100 a day. First you gotta practice making $1,000 a day. You gotta the ultimate thing in psychology is 80% psychology, 20% mechanics. What I'm showing y'all is the 20%. The 80% is I'm gonna make $100 and stop trading. Half the time, the problem is that people overtrade. If you say I only do 1 trade a week, 2 trade a week, 3 trade a week, that's all you need to do. Don't come back and be like, oh, I made $1,000. I'm about to jump into something else. Don't do that. Go back to your plan. Because if you jump in and go and just jump in head first without even making a plan or seeing the plan or whatever, now you're risking giving the money back when you had a better opportunity if you would just waited.
Yeah, that was my problem. I had a few times go back to the drawing board because it wasn't that I could make money. I could make money, but then what's the point if you're gonna give it back?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Listen, I pay myself 20% of what I make every week. Period. So if I make $1,000 a week, I'm paying myself $250. Because I feel horrible if I'm just giving it back. Why am I keeping so much money into a trading account when I can just pay myself and I know I can do this again? You feel me? Think about it. This is a job too now. This is a skill set. This is a job. When you make money, celebrate your Fridays. How many times I told people, man, I don't got to trade on Fridays. I made all my money on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I just want to celebrate on Friday. I don't want to do nothing. I said this so many times because you don't have to get aggressive to the point where you're just throwing money back into the market. You got to think about this as being a real professional trader, dude. You feel me? It's so easy to be like, man, the market green, let me jump back in. Bro, you could have waited 2 days and got a better entry and made more money, possibly making more money. That's why I say, man, stick to the plan, execute the plan. Don't worry about the short-term trading stuff. If you see a trade in the consolidation, just stop and wait until it break consolidation. Why be aggressive in the consolidation zone? Now you're risking for it to go down or up. Just wait till it break out of consolidation, put your trade in, and now I'm not risking no money. I'm in a guaranteed movement trade. I'm on the upside. I'm green as soon as I buy it. It ain't nothing else to talk about. But some people don't even want to wait for consolidation. They in and out. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna hear them say that. That's too much. What you doing? You're doing too much. I could have saved. I could have saved some time doing all that back and forth. Chill. Have a coffee. That's true though, bro. I'm telling y'all. Anybody else got a question? So tomorrow, man, it's Monday. I don't have a live on Monday. I'll be back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday. What it is? What's my schedule, guys? Oh, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You feel what I'm saying? So tomorrow, I'm gonna type up some stuff tonight. But tomorrow, I'll probably type up some stuff early in the morning. I'll wake up about 4 o'clock. So I'm probably get back on the computer. I'll be locked in for real. And then I'm gonna give y'all some ideas of what y'all want to do. I'm gonna go through the list of all the things that you guys posted. I see Rumble, I see RTX, I see UEC. I'm gonna tell y'all about volume. You know what I mean? These stocks gotta have volume. Volume moves the market. I'm gonna go over a firm. I actually like a firm. I mean, I like Snow. But I'm gonna have to type all that stuff up, man, because today I really wanted to just show y'all these charts, man, because this is really the meat and gravy of everything. I mean, it's literally everything. So,
Before we wrap this up,
what's up, bro?
on
Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. What time do you usually do these lives again?
9 a.m. in
Right.
the morning, Eastern.
9 a.m.
Yeah, and I was going to about 11:30, but I think people get bored after a while with me because I don't be saying that. I'll be looking at these charts. But I might start cutting about 10:30. I'm going to try, linger a little bit longer. But yeah, 9 in the morning Eastern time. We're going to be in there hanging out, looking at charts first thing in the morning, pre-market moves. There's a way that you could take the pre-market high or pre-market low, and you can gauge it as your support and resistance. There's a lot of ways to skin this cat, but I'm definitely going to be locked in coming into the live. So you can come to live, bring your notes, and bring whatever information you want to, provide, and we'll go over it, man. We'll work together. I have no problem working with anybody.
That sounds good, man. Good listening to you.
No, all love, man, for sure, man. I've been doing this for a little minute now, so it's one of those things. Now I'm in the point of just making it simple as possible. Like after going through all these years of up and down and all that roller coaster, now I'm like, hold on, let me woosah and just make this simple as possible. This is not a hard thing. We're not complicating it here. No one. Yeah, for sure. A lot of rules of respecting trend lines. Respect your RSI. Respect all that stuff, man. Because at the end of the day, that's what keep you safe. You know what I mean? If you understand what an RSI is, if you understand what a trend line is, respect that stuff, man. Don't overdo it. Don't well, I think it's gonna be this, but the chart ain't telling you that. Like the chart telling you exactly what to do every time. So.
Oh yeah. The more I look and practice with the charts, what thread on would it be under like just general here where I would show you the chart that I've been fumbling around with?
Oh no, you go to trade conversation, like right there where it say trade conversation. I think I posted a whole bunch of cover calls on there. And then you could just you could type up whatever chart you want and we'll look at it. The more you practice, the better.
Trade conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tag you in it. Yeah. Well, look, the more conversation that we have amongst each other, it's gonna be better for everybody, and it's gonna be better for your skill set. You feel me? I want you to do it by yourself, but we got some people that have been trading for a little bit, for a long period of time. Lou, Change Up QC, Black Pharaoh been doing this thing. We got Pete in here. You know what I mean? We got a few. Oh, we got Rick James. I forgot about Rick James. But these guys been here for a long time. So they definitely could be like, yeah, man, I like the way your chart's set up. It looks good. Change this about it or whatever. But dude, we can do this, man. We can do this.
Absolutely. And Change Up QC is my boy who invited me onto the group.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you, Change Up, big time. Yeah, that's my guy, man. Like, ever since I met Change Up, yeah, he's a good guy, man. Definitely a good guy.
Oh, yeah. He's my boy,
bro. You need to come visit Big Dog because, I make sure brother be straight.
Hey, I'm coming to Miami the 26th through the 3rd. I'm be in Miami, so I could definitely hit you.
Oh, January or what? February or January? What? Next month? This month?
Next month, February.
Oh, February. Okay. I was about to say, listen, but I'm 1 foot. If Philadelphia Eagles win this playoff game, I may be going to the Super Bowl in Arizona. You know what I mean? But I need Philly to go ahead and win. I already looked up my tickets. I already know what I'm about to buy. So I may be at the Super Bowl, but I'm not, you got to get there. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Y'all, anybody else got any questions? All right, y'all. Hey, listen, God bless y'all. If y'all got charts or any other information you want to pass along, feel free in the trade conversation. And stay focused, man. Stay locked in, man. This is freedom, man. Let's get free. Holla at me.